and start right back up again. Yeah, I'm looking up now. I moved my third monitor up on the shelf. Okay, I also had apparel that I wanted to put in here. I think. Yes, this. Minus 15% damage taking from super mutants. +2, +2. I think that was the only one. Okay. But I do have a bunch of clothes.
Sun goes down, crazies come out.
Oh, I'm supposed to be wearing that bandolier. Hang on to that hazmat suit. I carry that extra 5 pounds around with me. I'm not wearing my wedding ring? What? I don't think I want the welding helmet in here. I don't believe it would be a fashionable piece of clothing. It might be. It's actually armor. I'm going to keep it with the armor.
Enough of this slog. Just point us to the nearest watering hole.
World is bigger than...
That should make it easier for me to find it later. Welding.
strongly.
I don't know how my wedding ring came off. £1,629. Yeah, I know. It's because I'm carrying so much water. We'll do some missions, quests. As soon as I'm done dumping a bunch of stuff off of me. And what happened over here? See? Someone's been playing around. Let's put it on the back burner. Maybe that way it's less apt to get bumped into. That was nice dropping this on, oops. Drop it on a flat surface, right? Make it flat. But you know, those salt shakers have been standing there the whole time. Maybe it's because they're set back far enough. This thing got all knocked over once. This, I think, is a very unique item. I think I've only found one. So I set it up right there, but that saucepan lid had gotten bumped into and knocked out of position. Where was I putting my food? I thought I had a lunch pail right here that I was putting food into. I wasn't putting it in here. Basically been leaving that the way I found it. I don't think I've been putting any of it in here. Yeah, that's all. This is all dry food. Cardboard box food, metal can, tin can food. The stuff that you can't cook. The stuff that has rads in it. There's no chairs in here for you. There's no chairs.
You hear about that farm run by ghouls? Isn't that something?
Yeah. You're looking sharp. What are you even doing? This playthrough, no Raider power armor. Oh. So this thing just spawned a wrench in it recently. Let's take it. Maybe that'll help speed it up making another one. Yeah, so food. Where am I putting the food? It would have been here. I'm trying not to do a bunch of major rebuilding. I'm just trying to fit my stuff within the bounds of what we got. Yeah, see, there's no... Okay, here's where I've been putting my warm booze. Aid. Bourbon is usually the first thing you find. No bourbon. Whiskey and wine and vodka. Okay, none of that. But anything that has weight, let's see if we've got any. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, there's 1,000, 1,150, about 1,200 pounds of water right there. Okay, there's weight right there. Some Mirelurk eggs. Well, let's put it all in the fridge. One fridge. Aid. I went by it, I know. Let's go down to M. And work our way up. Blood pack. Was I treating that like a drug? No. It would be a drug that should be kept cool. It is a drug. I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to put it in here. I was giving it to my clinician, but it is actually a component to be used for making something. It might be a drink. I forget what. Aid. Blood pack. Okay. So, I'm carrying about 423 pounds of weapons and armor. Mostly weapons. Mostly weapons. I'm going to keep carrying that on me, though. Okay, now, what's going on? Yes, the molecular level. Return to Hancock. Oh, because of the Pikmin thing. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Miscellaneous quests are the ones I like to knock off first. They build up in that menu and clutter it. I like to knock those right off. Well, I got an awful lot of water that weighs an awful lot.
I've got a weapon here for every situation.
Baby.
Hunting, protection, cold-blooded murder.
Hot-blooded
murder.
Someone was saying how they hated this character. I love this character.
I've got a few minutes to browse.
Each weapon tested on someone who deserved it.
So what I like to do, see if there's any kind of really cool armor that I don't have. Not buying any of those, I don't need to. Ballistic fiber, yes, I need all that I can get. I believe I was also getting low on oil. When I make something, I look to see what it takes to make it, and that's when it tells me what I've got, and whatever I have the least of is what I try to make sure I buy. But I buy all the ammo. Just a little game hack, a little cheat I use, because it has 0 weight. So that's 1,284 water. Well, not water, divided by 16. I think I'm getting 16 per water now. So I can get a lot of this water off my character and reduce my weight. My weight carrying capacity broke the game. I've got 4,000 carry weight, 4,260, something like that. It's supposed to be 260. Somehow 4,000. 12,884. Close enough for me. So now I'm down to 750 pounds worth of water. 57K worth of caps. That's getting sweet. The 100K mark would be really nice. Yeah, so my weight carrying capacity broke the game. At least it's not early game. If it was early game, I would have just scrapped and started fresh. Early game, you got to go through all those struggles of being squishy and weak and all that stuff.
Hancock. He runs things here in Good Neighbor. Good man for the job. Fair.
What, you need something to
and
take
brutal.
the edge off?
In equal
Fred
measure.
Allen, Hotel Rexford. He'll hook you up.
Don't ask questions in Good Neighbor. Better for everyone that way.
Hey,
How's my little scout doing? You find out what's happening at Pickman Gallery?
it was beautiful. How to explain? Yeah, thanks for coming back, Fallout. We've been having short internet outages from
Looks like my
repairs
dazzling personality got another one.
out on the lines, out in the streets for about a week now. It's
How do I
been
even start? You know why
weird.
they called it the Pickman Gallery?
No, that was the point of the whole job, remember? What are you trying to say?
Let's just say Pickman's art isn't going to have much resale value once all those bodies start decaying.
Well, they say all artistic inspiration is ephemeral, am I right? Wish I could say that was the most twisted thing I've ever heard of, but it ranks up there. Top 3. I'll put the word out. Tell people to stay clear of that area. Hiring you is definitely one of my better moments. Here, spend the money in good health.
Yeah, we had a hurricane weeks ago, a month or two ago. I don't know. A month and a half ago. I don't know. You guys probably got hit too. We got devastated. Trees down almost everywhere. You were lucky to be able to get to your house because it was hard to find a road that didn't have a massive tree going across it. Personally, I was without power for a week. But the lines took such incredible amounts of damage like I've never seen in my lifetime. They got everything up and running relatively quick, but with band-aids and shoestrings. So they're still out there repairing, getting things back up the way they should be. Not just on a wing and a prayer. So they've been shutting down areas, rerouting areas. What it seems to me is they're throttling. It's like a throttle down. It takes a long time for me
What,
to
you dry? Head over to the third rail.
download or to download a program. I'll click on YouTube and it doesn't just pop up. Sometimes it takes so long to pop up, the computer thinks there's no internet. And then 2 minutes later, it pops up. So the internet repair, I was afraid this was going to happen, but I'm like, I gotta stream, I gotta try something. Just do whatever I can. It's out of my hands though, it's out on the street. And of course, you know, Sunday and after 10 o'clock at night, they think, you know, 10 o'clock at night, most people aren't using their internet because most people work first shift. So all us night shift people, we get screwed. Or us weekend warriors, you know, that use the internet really heavy on the weekend, we get screwed. But you know, all your first shift business people, you know, they get priority, so. But you know, I'm not going to complain about it because in the long run, it's going to be good. We're going to be coming into winter. Those winter winds are going to be blowing. And I want that shit out there to be fixed right. I don't want those band-aids to be coming unloose and those shoestrings start breaking. Let them fix it. I take my dog for a drive almost every single day. And I've been seeing the trucks. I've been seeing the work sites on the side of the road. I've been seeing staging area. And this is when you know the shit is deep. When you see a staging area where you see 10 trucks all parked together, a staging area, you know they're doing some big work. So is that it for the miscellaneous? Yes, it is. So all this stuff down here we're skipping for now, and it brings us up to here, the molecular level. Oh, wait a minute. Let's go up and, okay, make sure that one's shut off. I don't like it when multiple quests are activated. I need to think about this for a little while, so let me just talk it through my head, and usually I'll make up my mind what I want to do. Normally when I built this signal interceptor that gets us into the Institute, I really got to get into the Institute. I got to start their quest line. They're gonna fall behind if I don't. Normally, I built that signal interceptor up at Sanctuary, and I let Sturgis do the building. The last time I built it with him, it continued to work afterwards. And that's what I want, because I think it looks really cool. All that blue lightning cracking and snapping and all the flashing. I just think it looks really cool. Well, the last playthrough I decided to try something different. I mean, you know, that's what you do. You play a game enough, you try a lot of different options. So I let the railroad do it. They came up, Tinkertown built it, it's Sanctuary, and we used it. It blew up. Everything turned black and wilted, and it never worked after that. It just looked ugly as hell, and I couldn't rebuild it. Couldn't repair it. I'm like, well, that isn't what I wanted. I've never had the Brotherhood build this thing for me. And I don't think I'm going to do it with the Brotherhood now. Maybe someday offline I'll come back to one of these older saves and I'll let the Brotherhood build it just to see how that works. Yeah, so right now let's go back to Sanctuary. Talk to Preston Gavi. It's supposed to be blown out. Oh, you've never had it left working. That must have been a bug, maybe. Well, you know, I was wondering if that was a possibility. I was wondering. I couldn't remember the previous times I made it, whether or not it burnt up or didn't. Oh, that's a bit of a bummer. I wonder if I could get it to bug out again. I was at least half hoping and expecting you might tell me what was up with that. Yeah.
My old man taught me that duct tape could fix anything. I don't think he was talking about bullet holes.
You'd be surprised, dude. Sucking chest wound, don't be scared. Put a piece of duct tape over it.
The open road and a loaded weapon.
Just leave one corner loose.
What do you need, General?
It's complicated, yeah.
All you need to know is there's a machine that can get me inside the Institute.
The Institute? Why in the world would you want to mess around with them?
No. She's a woman. She cares more about her baby than she does her husband. Probably.
They kidnapped my baby.
Damn. That's some bad business. Even for them. We'll give you whatever help we can. Don't worry about that. Now, assuming you could build this thing, what exactly does it do?
It gets me inside the Institute. That's all that matters.
Okay, General. If you think it will really work, then you should see if Sturgis can make heads or tails of those plans. I'll let you know if I hear of any settlements that need our help. In the meantime, make sure to offer help to anyone that needs it. That can only help our cause.
I'd be really surprised, Fallout, if there was not a mod. Dude, get out of there. I'll leave. Because there's like a mod for everything you can think of. And if I remember right, and I might not, when I built it here, this settlement was very highly built. There was a lot of stuff here. And that might have contributed to the bugginess of why that thing stayed working. There were so many buildings here. There were so much furniture placed here. There's so many mods and assets placed and used, and there was so much here that I can see that possibly confusing the program, the language, something just glitching a little bit. 76, I did that in a picnic table. Had to reload it to get out of it. Well, in Fallout 76, I was in this small town. It was infested with ghouls. I was clearing the area. I went into a house. I went upstairs. I fell through a hole in the floor, and there was no way out. I couldn't jump up through the ceiling. I had no jetpack. No ladders. There's no boxes to pick up and move and jump up on and jump out. I was stuck in that room. I don't know if there was an option to pick a lock to get out, but if there was, I couldn't do it. I had to do a reload and lose all that. I cleared that town. I was almost done. That's why they say save off. And although, I think it's unfair because part of the community throws that phrase around, save scumming.
That's behind me. What's up?
Like you're some kind of scumbag if you save too much. Like you're supposed to, never save? Permadeath? Survival permadeath. I save a lot.
What's going on?
Preston thought you might be able to figure out these plans for me.
Sure thing. Let's see what you've got.
This is funny.
Do you think you can build this?
Wow. What a mess. Looks like encrypted RF transmissions. Okay, so that gets routed through... What the hell? Teleportation. This is some pretty crazy shit. You sure it's for real?
It's real. I got it from an ex-Institute scientist.
Seriously? I didn't know you could be an ex-Institute anything and still be breathing. Anyway, the eggheads never think about the nuts and bolts of actually making something work. But, looks like it's all here. Yeah, I'm gonna need some time to study this thing. handwriting's pretty hard to make out. But you can get started on what he calls a stabilized reflector platform. It'll need some pretty high-grade metals, but it's basically not that different
Let
than
me
the lining
guess,
of a
10
jet
aluminum.
engine or something like that.
I normally ask questions whenever possible, although I know what the parts list is, sorta.
Can you give me a list of what I'll need to build this platform?
Yeah, sure. Here's a list of what you'll need for the first piece. I'm pretty sure we've got all that at Sanctuary, if you want to build it there. While you're working on that, I'll get busy figuring out how to actually build the rest of this thing. Keep in mind, I can already see this is gonna take a crazy amount of juice. Like if you had a spare nuclear reactor handy, we could probably use it. And it's going to be big.
This thing doesn't use
find a
that
nice
much
open
power.
building site with lots of power available.
I think you would have given me that parts list no matter what option I chose eventually. But I thought it was really cool the way Tinker Tom reacted to that plan. I forget exactly how it went. Something like, "Are you kidding me? This is written in crayon. Looks like some kid drew this with a crayon. Oh, geez, real big kid too." And you could see it when it was in his hands. It is written in crayon. Okay, so where am I putting it? This is where I put it last time. That's not where it's going to go this time. I kind of would like to put it there, just because I like to put it somewhere where we don't get many attacks. Like, this is a spawn point right back here somewheres. They come up around this house and enter Sanctuary through here. And this is the entrance, the main entrance to Sanctuary. So I like this to look really major league fortified. Eventually.
Huh?
Yeah.
Hope this rain lets up soon.
Him and his rain.
Oh no! This rain is gonna ruin my notes.
This rain could ruin my notes. I've never heard that. Oh no, this rain could ruin my notes. And let's see, this, where is it?
Easy living, this ain't.
Yeah, well, these houses are all intact, so I want to keep them. This is another spawn point right down here. Right about here. Normally I put a bunch of missile launchers right there. I put a bunch more right here. But this time I got a pretty sweet setup right there. Nice and high like that, so it really covers anything coming from down there, because it shoots over the tops.
Huh?
I think we're going to be building down this other end. This is another spawn point behind that house, somewhere behind that house. Somewhere back there. You get into the back doors of these houses and they come through and around. So this house here is going to be the least prone to being attacked. So I did something new, Fallout. I downloaded a mod that's, I don't know what the title is, but what it is a build menu manager. And it might even be called that, building menu manager. And it fixed my shit, man. This portrait, these decorations, this entire branch of my menu was gone. This branch and all the branches that came off of it and all the branches that came off of these, all gone. I was going to play it that way. I went through my entire mod list trying to find out who was conflicting. I took them off 5 at a time, 10 at a time, half at a time. And you know what it boiled down to? As soon as I added one mod, the decoration disappeared. It didn't matter which one I added. I'm like, well, that's really fucked. Holy crap. Well, I'm not playing with 0 mods. Just checking. See what I want to scrap. This is on the short list, although I don't know. I don't like to get rid of those. These make really good security fences. Super mutants, raiders, gunners, they can't run through these things. They have to run around and they have to file through. And whenever you can get your enemies to file through, that makes them easier to take out. So I'm going to leave that building. I think we're done scrapping, although that doesn't look so bad. Could not find my pair. I keep getting that. Item 13 or whatever it is, could not find my pair. Sweet. Yeah. You know, it's a common occurrence with a lot of these menu, with these assets that you can build. It's not just a single asset. Normally there's a bunch of stuff. You've seen them all, or many of them. There's a whole bunch of things you can build. So you download it, you add it to your menu, and you can build all kinds of crazy stuff. But sometimes I've heard people use the term script. They're not scripted, or they use scripts, or it's not correct, and it writes on top of something that's already existing. It kind of shoehorns itself in there improperly, and you often lose some of your pre-existing stuff. This thing has settings in it you can go in and repair It's got a repair option, repair menu. You give it about 2 minutes and it repaired my menu. I'm like, yeah, but the price I pay is I got about a 5-second delay whenever I want to go into building mode. Watch, right now I'm moving. I hit the building. Now see, it locked me. I'm locked. I can't move. It's going into building menu right now. There it goes. It just got in. It takes about 5 seconds to get in. And everything freezes for 5 seconds, maybe 4.5. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because it fixed my shit. So it's, you know, I could scrap out this whole foundation, this whole thing.
Do you really think we did the right thing?
And I just might do it.
It's gonna be all right then. I'm sure of it.
I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to save first. Sometimes it's fun to use a pre-existing slab like this and try to line your walls up flush with the corners, and hopefully your door ends up matching with the sidewalk. But now I don't have to worry about any of that. I'll make my own footprint here, and my only parameters are these bushes. Now, I don't know if this was always here. Was it warehouse floor? Yeah, I love the warehouse floor. It has no orientation. You can turn it 90 degrees, 80 degrees, 270 degrees. You don't have to orient it. They just all add up. So, I don't know. Let's give it a little room. So I can walk around the building without getting stuck. Before I get too far, and this is too far right here. Oh, geez. Okay. One of the first things I look for is grass sticking up. And if it is, I lift it up so there's no grass sticking through the floor. Thinking we need, oops. I was thinking about having a zigzag front, but I don't think I want a zig. I think a square. I think we're going square. Let's see, what is this? 2, 3, 4 by 1, 2, 3, 4 by 4. Yep, don't want that. Okay. I don't know how much closer I can get here. I think we're going to expand this another block to the back at some time. This is a nice area except for all that power and water, which probably won't stay. Eventually I'll make a nuclear power plant, right? That'll get rid of all that power. I'll end up moving my water production somewhere else. Spectacle Island, the castle, probably the castle. Okay. I'm trying to get this oriented at like a tangent, if that makes any sense. Like this is the center of the wall. So I want both sides so I'm trying to bisect the building. That's really close. So when you stand right here, you know, bisect the build. Yeah, see, that's not what I want. I want it to point right at the tree. So this is a better place to be on the back side here. Kind of like when the ancient people built their buildings and aligned them with the stars. Or you align them to the sunrise, sunset. Oh, sweet. My last, I don't know, 12 hours worth of streaming, the last stream I streamed, I tried something with my mic that was an epic fail. epic fail. My sound quality for my last stream, 12 hours worth of VODs, is horrible. I admit it. I know it. I've done something different this time. Going back to what I had. I was trying to improve my sound, and I ended up making a mess out of it. Looks pretty good now, though. We'll see. Okay, so how's it look from over here then? Okay. Okay, so this line in the road isn't going to line up with this. And that's okay. You got to get this right now. Yeah, I got a mic for playing 76 with friends. I have no idea how it sounds. Everyone says they can hear me, so it at least works. Well, this is what I do, Fallout. I record my own stuff and I play it back and listen to it. That's the only thing I fully trust. I've had people say that my stuff sounded good, but then I play it back and I'm like, that doesn't sound good to me. No, no, no. That's tough when you're playing with teammates. I watch people play tabletop Pathfinder, D&D. So you got a DM and you got like a fistful of players, and all their mics are at different levels. Sometimes you got a guy that's mumbling. Sometimes you got a guy that keeps bursting out in loud talking. And to get the sound levels all set, I don't know. I don't know how you do it. I don't know if it can even be done. Hey, King. Good to be seen. How's the new job, and how's the what's the position I'm trying to think of? I hope the real estate agent is treating you fairly. Hoping for a long, great, fun stream tonight. Thanks for the entertainment. I'm hoping for a long stream as well. I'm playing The Last of... I saw a couple of your tweets. I saw it was Last of Us, and I was assuming that it was DLC. Your cousin. That's quite alright, King. Get an apartment. You know, don't be in a hurry, King. I know it sucks paying rent because that's money that's not invested in anything. But a house is a very big and possibly economically dangerous move. You want to be sure of yourself. You want to do the right thing. Don't be in a hurry. Take your time. It'll happen. It'll happen. Good luck. Good luck. We just signed the papers with our new tenants a couple days ago. They'll be moving in real soon. It's very stressful for everybody. Of course, them more than us. You know, they're looking for a place to live, but we're worried about getting somebody that is going to play the COVID card and not pay rent for a year or more. Who knows what's going to happen with that? And they're bringing horses to the property. That's a really sweet thing for us. That was really the deal maker right there. You know, no matter who you choose for a tenant, you're always taking a risk. You know, you can pick somebody, and you know, there were so many people contacting us through like Zillow and Hotpads and, you know, places like that. Literally dozens. And more than just a couple. Dozen. And you gotta choose. Sometimes you have what appears to be pretty rich, well-to-do, well-spoken, highly educated professionals just looking for a place out in the country to retire to. But sometimes you don't know if they're going to get all pissy and decide they're not going to pay you for little dumb complaining issues. Sometimes, and I learned this a long time ago in business, sometimes it's the poor person that is the safest bet. Like, and this is just a general statement. This is a general statement, but it's often true. A poor person will save up week after week after week so they can afford the money to pay a plumber, an electrician, some tradesman, a mechanic, whatever, to do an expensive job for them. And when the job is done, they pay them in full. It's a lot of money to them. They saved it. They paid their bill. Rich people? Now, this is again a general statement. All you rich people out there, don't be hating on me. I'm talking about a different rich person, not you. Or if it's you, shame on you. I've seen them. They look for any excuse not to pay their bill. I've done it. I sold somebody some product out up front. And when it came time to pay, oh, we're not going to pay because of this imperfection. It's like, that imperfection was there all along. We discussed it. You knew it was there. I told you it was there. And you said you were okay it was there. And now you're just using it as an excuse not to pay me. So, the point is, if I'm losing you in the detail, is you never know who's going to be a bad risk or a good risk. You're taking a risk no matter what. Uh-oh. I moved this to the point where I can't get through. I didn't want to do that. Didn't want to do that. I used to work for this guy. He was far more than a millionaire. Far more than a millionaire. I don't think he was a billionaire. He might have been. I don't know. This guy was probably easily worth hundreds of millions of dollars anyway. And I did work for him for years. But I would never contract. Because I saw what he did. He was always looking for some little minor imperfection to use as an excuse not to pay somebody. So I made him pay me by the hour. And after a week, if I didn't get paid, I'd go on vacation. I'd work somewhere else, if it was a big job. Some of the jobs would take months. Take a whole season. So sometimes I would work for him exclusively. And I'm spinning my wheels an awful lot on this foundation because I'm still not liking it. I want to be able to run around this building. Or don't I? Maybe I don't. Maybe what I want is this. You know, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade, right? I was pointing at the tree. See, this place is all kind of askew. It's all askew. I know I'm being anal about this. Here's the parting line right here. Got this triangle right here. It goes through the tree. And boom, the building. Yeah. I'm in it. I'm doing what I'm always accusing somebody else I know of. You want your cake and you want to eat it too. Well, what if I got rid of just these 2 bushes? It's not like it's going to get rid of everything, right? What about over here? Oh, just the 2? That falls off precipitously. I should make use of the boundary. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So here's my center point right here. Wish I could do this while I was standing on it. Yeah, I didn't think you were gonna let me. You gonna let me? Wow, you let me. Okay, so I'm into that. And I'm into that. Can't have your cake and eat it too. You got to get this right now, because once you build on it too much, there's no moving it. That's really close. That's really, I'm using this as a parting line right here. That's my parting line. So I'm trying to build this in alignment with that. That's pretty close. Oh, Pickle Pepinillo. What do you call a lost wolf? A lost wolf. A lost wolf. What do you call a lost wolf? It's not apparent to me. What do you call a lost wolf? I give up. I don't like to give up so quickly, but, you know, A werewolf. Where's the wolf? I don't know if I would have thought of that. Like, I can get anal when someone asks me for a joke. I like to think about it for like half an hour until I finally get it. The thoughts that were coming to my mind were like lone wanderer, you know, like the lone wolf, a werewolf. Werewolf. That reminds me of a very rare Indian tribe. It's very obscure. You're not going to read about it in your textbooks. You know, you've heard about the lost tribes of Israel. There was the Wet'suwet'en tribe. It was an American Indian tribe, and the historians couldn't figure out what their lineage was. But so they kind of like compared it to the lost tribes of Israel, you know, from the Judeo-Christian literature. But anyway, the legend goes the chief was bringing his peoples across the land. They may have came over across the Siberian land bridge 12,000 years ago before the Ice Age melted and you couldn't cross there anymore. And he came to some bluffs or some mountainsides from the Rocky Mountains, and that's where they got their name. They were lost, and he got up onto the ridge, and he's out looking out, and he says, "Wet'suwet'en," and that's how they got their name, the Wet'suwet'en. I hope I didn't tell that too badly. That's a good one. I was trying to tell it seriously. That's my style of joke, when you can't tell I'm joking. Oh. I used to think I was Italian. And this guy, he's telling me this Italian joke. Let's see, how did it go? I better not say anything else about it until I think about it. Give me a couple minutes to think about it. There's a word that if Italians were treated as a special minority, it would be hate crime to use that word. A protected minority, that's the word, that's the legal term. If Italians were a protected minority, it would be a hate crime to use this word. I'm trying to remember what it was. Thing to joke was, what do you call an Italian Indian tribe? And it's that word that I can't think of. It might be funny if I think of the word. I'm giving up on it though. I don't know if the guy thought he was going to make me mad or what. I don't know. To me, Marker 13, could not find my pair. Damn, I wish I knew what that meant. Oh, I just thought of it. What do you call an Italian Indian tribe? The Awapahos. I thought it was hilarious. I don't know, maybe he thought he was going to piss me off or something. I don't know. These people that get pissed off over words. You know, like you call an Italian person a wop. Like without papers is where that comes from. WOP, without papers. And you know, there's a whole bunch of what might be defined as racial slurs if you're talking about a protected minority. I think I can say that legally because I don't think Italians are protected minorities. But there's a whole bunch of words like that for all the different races. You know, the Mexicans have slang words. I'm not going to use them because I don't want to piss any snowflakes off. You know, and the black people certainly have a whole list of them that you can't say or it's hate speech. And other racial groups. And people get mad when you use those words. Well, this guy said WAP, and I'm like, that is so goddamn funny. The Awapahos. I think he thought he was going to pick a fight or something. I don't know. It didn't bother me none. Just a word. Okay, one last time. Is this high enough? Can I lower it? I don't get angry quickly about jokes. Life sucks enough to worry about bad jokes. Well, they're words. They're just words, man. They're words. I mean, that's something we all learn as children. Our parents tell us from the time we're in preschool and kindergarten and all that. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never harm me. It's like, yeah, so Johnny next door called you a name. So what? So what? But now, adults are suing people over words, names. It's just crazy. I heard some guy, I was watching him. I'm interested in the game Divinity Original Sins 2. A precursor to Baldur's Gate. I'm not paying $60 for Baldur's Gate early release. If I can't get it for $20 or $30 early release, and probably 30's too much, I'm going to wait for it to be done in a year and a half, and let it prove its mettle if I'm going to pay $60 for it. So anyway, I'm watching Original Sin, and this guy much younger than me says he can't stand what the culture's turned into over things like that. It's gotten crazy. Off the hook, man. Off the hook. I had this other guy, he tried to pick a fight with me by telling a personal joke against me. I go driving into this local bike bar. I'm wearing my leather jacket, I'm carrying my helmet under my arm, I'm wearing my chaps because it's cold outside. And this is a redneck bar. This was before it became the motorcycle bar. That's right. That's what makes the story make even better sense. This was the redneck bar where all your carpenters and painters and all your older folk, you know, the 50-year-olds and the 40-year-olds after work, that's where they went to drink too much. So they didn't have to go home to their wives that wasn't going to give them sex anyway. I go in there. This guy, I don't know from Adam. Never seen him before in my life. Comes up to me and he says, "What's the difference between an Electrolux and a Harley Davidson?" And I said, "I don't know. You tell me. What's the difference between an Electrolux and a Harley Davidson?" He says, "On an Electrolux, the dirt bag is on the inside." So basically, he's calling me a dirt bag, right? And a lot of guys would have just shoved him on his ass and hoped that he got up and then cracked him a couple times. That's what the guy wanted. That's what he wanted. So all his friends could jump on me. It would have taken several of his friends. This guy was a little punk. Fallout thinks it's funny. Yeah, I think it's funny too. That's a really funny joke. So I laughed. I did not take it personal. I knew what he was doing. But I would have gotten kicked out of the bar. And that's just what he wanted. We don't like your kind here. What's the difference between an Electrolux and a Harley Davidson? On an Electrolux, the dirt bag is on the inside. Okay, I think I can stop walking circles around this. What I'm thinking about now are stair placement. And it doesn't look like stair placement is going to work too well in the front. But that's okay. We don't need to be like everybody else. Almost every time I approach this building, it's going to be from this direction. Maybe not from this direction. Maybe from down here. Probably not from right here. I'm thinking here. And I've got this new way of building where I don't like to put my stairs inside the building. I like my stairs to run up along the outside like a fire escape. I personally think people should be able to weigh whatever the hell they want to say whatever they want to say. But that does not mean there are no consequences. Yeah, for what the words they say. It's a reap what you sow kind. Yeah, well, you know, Pickle, this is the thing. The consequences aren't there. Now, years ago, if you were in a bar and some dude made a nasty comment about your old lady, treated her like a slut or something, or grabbed her by the ass, you could punch the guy square in the face, knock him on his ass over his bar stool, and you could keep on going, and nobody cared. You certainly weren't going to have to spend thousands of dollars to a lawyer trying to avoid 2 years of prison for assault and battery. But now that's what it is. So there are no consequences. And so people do that kind of stuff all the time because they think they can get away with it. And for the most part, they can. For the most part, they can. There are still places, though. You got to be careful, folks. If you're one of those people that think there's no consequences, you better be careful where you are. You better make sure you know where you are. Because if you do that in the wrong place, you will pay the consequence. There was a similar issue like that happened. I won't tell the details to protect the guilty. And one guy gives another guy a tune-up. Tunes him up pretty good. Leaves him in a puddle of his own blood. Didn't nearly kill the guy, just bloodied up his face. Didn't break his nose, just split his lip. Try shit in Europe in a bar. The swallowing of teeth will soon follow people. Do not care to sit a week in a cell for that. They don't care. Well, someone's got to do it. Someone can't be afraid to do it. And this guy that got his ass kicked, nobody liked him, but nobody did anything about it. Well, this one guy, he didn't care. Only cracked him a couple times, but hurt him pretty good. And when the police went to the bar and started asking everybody in the bar, you know, I don't know, 10, 20 people, everybody said, no, he must have tripped. Another guy said, I think it was self-inflicted. Nobody in the bar would rat on the guy that punched him. But that guy that got his ass beat, he flew straight after that. He learned that he couldn't get away with the shit he was getting away with. That somebody was gonna make him pay the consequence. And to tell a few more details about, again with the stairs here, I'm going to bump into these things here. Well, maybe they go away, I don't know. I don't want to do it down there, it's going to be here. The guy that gave him the beating didn't even know him. Somebody was telling the story about what the guy had done. And the guy said, "Oh, that guy right there?" Gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. Gotta be really careful. Jesus, I was just talking to somebody a couple days ago. Their brother got murdered. Got stabbed. Now, I wasn't given all the details, and this was years ago. They were asked to leave a party or somebody's property, and he says, yeah, okay. And I guess they didn't leave fast enough. So this Marine stabbed him and his friend and killed them both. I'm like, a Marine? How the fuck does a Marine do that? How do you become a Marine and be that mentally unstable that you would do that to somebody? Got to be careful. You never know who's unstable. Don't you come in here. You know those guys I watch up north? Those guys I watch up north, one of their wives did that in the background. I'm like, dude, that is forever on video. I didn't say nothing. I didn't say anything. Talk to my wife. Better change the subject. She's walking down the hallway naked. She's preparing to go into the shower. And I had to remind her, don't come in here. There's a camera on. I was watching, and I told her the story about these guys I follow. I was watching them, and all of a sudden, I see this naked woman crossing in the background behind the guy's back. I'm like, oh crap. He doesn't know it. She should know it, I don't know. So I used to be a foreman on a ship wharf. Oh, ship, that can be a rough crowd, right? And this feller did not listen, smoked inside, had open flames, shit like that. And I told him numerous times, like, hey dude, quit that shit. There are volatile chemicals around. And this guy ignored me, kept on doing this shit until we standing next to the turpentine rag bin. Ever seen a pillar of fire like yes I have. Yes I have. I have seen. I burn brush. I make fires that roar. They create such an updraft of heat because there's so much heat. I fired him afterwards. He lost his hair, his eyebrows, molten his fancy trash bag jacket. Yeah, you know, that's a tough call. I mean, you definitely fire the guy afterwards, but the tough call is, do you fire him ahead of time? He's doing stuff that's not just dangerous to himself, but to company property. That's probably the most important thing that your boss cares about, the company property. He don't care if this guy burns himself to death. He's just going to hire somebody else. The insurance company will pay. I fired him the moment he was being loaded into the ambulance. Dude, and don't come back. I did a lot of carpentry work and construction, and this guy says, if you ever fall off the ladder, you're fired before you hit the ground. That way you're not working for his company when you get hurt. He doesn't have to pay to put you in the hospital. Legally I'm pretty sure you can't do that though, but that's what he said. Well, I'm going to just put temporary stairs here because I just want to get this done. I just want to get this done. You're not going to sink any deeper than that. Is that it? That's what you're giving me, huh? Okay, fine. What about these stairs? I don't think these stairs are going to be any better. Oh, these are shorter. Yeah. Do those. And I always use 2 sets of stairs because for some reason these things are like magnets to the pathing of the AI. The settlers would just stand on a set of stairs. His insurance provider called me, asked me what happened. I gave them my statement and showed them the footage. So he had to pay the cost himself. Now see, the way American workers' compensation works is your boss can tell you not to throw matches into the gas can. Be careful not to ever blow up the gas can. Don't ever smoke around the gas can. Or pick your dangerous situation. And out of your own stupidness or purposefulness, if you throw a match in the gas can and blow yourself up, you still get paid. It's basically to protect the extremely stupid people or forgetful people. Oh, I forgot I was supposed to let the parts cool down before I dunked them in the dangerous chemical fire stuff. I was in such a hurry. I know you told me during training. I know you told me at the morning safety meeting every morning. You say not to do it, and you've warned so and so. Everybody knows, and you've said it 1,000 times. But I did it anyway, and it's on camera of me doing it. But I got stupid. I got careless. I got forget whatever. I did it, and you have to pay. It's never your fault. If you're a worker, your boss has to pay. There is probably some kind of extreme scenario where that's not true, I don't know, I'm going to guess what would be an example of that. Let's say you go into work, you pull a pistol out and you shoot yourself in the head and die. I'm pretty sure your wife, if you had one, can't sue the company. Something like that. Or say you pull out a knife and stab it into your thigh and lose your leg or whatever. This is why we're here. This is why we're here. This is what this was all about. 1, 2, 3, 4 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 4 by 5. Might as well make this one more, right? Let's make it square. Can we make it square? Will this last row fit without floating? At least that's the way it was explained to me. I had a workman's comp case way back in 92-ish. I got hurt on the job. Basically, it was a case of tendonitis from repetitious. I was working with my arms and hands all day long, carrying bricks, cinder blocks, 2 at a time in each hand. And we had pallets and pallets and pallets of them. And I was moving them. And then at night, I would work another 4-hour shift painting, which are the same muscles. And I did this for I don't know how many weeks. And finally one morning, my forearm was swollen up like the calf of my leg, and I could hardly move my arm. And it ended up being tendonitis. And the company wanted to not pay. I had to sue them. And of course I won. This was self-inflicted. We told him, dude, don't do this thing. There were signs everywhere. Yeah, I understand. Even on the bin, I told him, if you get wrecked by self-inflicted injury, because being an idiot, and your provider will ask for... See, there's something about that I have to ask. Normally I don't like to ask questions, but you say his provider. Isn't his provider company insurance? Isn't he covered by company insurance while he's working for the company? No. Oh, it's his own. Oh, so was he like a subcontractor where he had to provide his own insurance? Because that's a thing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's the middle right there. That's the middle right there. Now this is all lined up nicey nice, I think. Let's look at the other direction. We all were, yeah. Okay. I'm from the insurance capital of the world. The capital, I live in Connecticut, USA. Hartford is the capital of Connecticut. Now, I don't live in Hartford, I live out in the woods. But Hartford is the insurance capital of the world. Unless they change that. But being the insurance capital of the world, maybe we have a different experience. This is what happens anytime you go to a hospital. How did you get hurt? Let's say you go in with a broken leg. How did you break your leg? Does it matter how I broke my leg? My leg is broken. How about you fix my broken leg? How did you break your leg? Also a different country. I could tell. Back when you were telling me about the shipyard and your grammar, I could tell. I knew you were. Well, matter of fact, you said something about the bar fight. You said over in Europe, somebody would have, you know, yada yada yada. So I was assuming you were from Europe. So over here in America, you go into the hospital, the first thing they want to know, who do we blame to pay the bill? You go, like I said, you go in with a broken leg, you can sit there with a broken leg. They want to know who's paying the bill. How'd you break your leg? Did it happen at work? That's the first thing they ask. How'd you break your leg? Did it happen at work? That's exactly what you're going to hear. How did you do it? And then they put the words in your mouth. Did it happen at work? Because if you say, yes, it happened at work, bingo, they hit a deep pocket. There's insurance there. But if you say, no, I did it at home, then they're going to say, oh, well, do you have insurance? Can we see your insurance card? Yada. It kind of makes me mad. Yeah, how about you just fix my broken leg? Now this doesn't look the way I thought it was going to look. I was busy looking at these two knobby things, and when I was looking at them from this direction, I thought they were parallel, and they are not. Well, parallel to the lines on the floor. This is me being anal about lining this thing up. So this is kind of the effect I was looking for. Right there. Lining that up with the lines on the floor. Now, it's a triangle. So, a triangle being 180 degrees. 180? Yeah, I think it's 180 degrees in a triangle. 90, 90, 90? No. 45, 45, 45? That's an equilateral triangle. They will kick you out on the street. Enjoy your yeah. There are places that used to be like that. But yet at the same time, I hear that they can't do that, that they have to provide for you. But believe me, if they provide for you, it's going to be rock bottom. Rock bottom. I knew some poor people that had a baby that was running a dangerously high fever. And they just said, put him in the sink with cold water. They didn't want the baby in the hospital. They didn't want to treat it for whatever was giving it a fever. It's true, you know, if you sit in an ice bath, you can bring your fever down. But that just gets rid of the symptom. It doesn't get rid of the disease. That baby could have had an infection. You're not going to make an infection go away by putting your body in ice water. You're just going to make the fever come down, and then the infection is going to kill you. That would have been a lawsuit waiting to happen. But the people were too poor to have insurance, to afford insurance, yada, 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 so out the door they went. It's a double-edged sword. I hear stories going both ways. Some people say they get kicked out of the hospital. Some people say taxpayers pay for it. I don't know. I got really good insurance, but even, you know, nowadays even the good insurance sucks.
I really think we did the right
That's
thing.
horrifying. I'm sure the Hippocratic Oath
It's gonna be all right.
has something to say about that money should never come over the line. Interesting. I used to know the Hippocratic Oath. I didn't have it memorized, but I've read it several times. The big thing is, thou shalt not do more harm. You're not supposed to cause more damage than they already have. But I don't remember the rest. There should be something in there about richer and poorer not having a difference. That's an easy, quick Google search for anyone that's curious. Okay. I'm satisfied with that. I've been walking in circles around this thing long enough. And that's as far as we go. I'm going to do... Could not find my pair. My pair. Oh, I wonder if that's the shoe. Could that be the shoes? My left shoe, my right shoe? My left shoe, my right shoe. Sturgis, we're going to come talk to you in a minute, but right now, I forgot if I just did this or not, so I'm going to do it again. Better safe than sorry, because I'm about to come to a point of no return. But I just had an idea.
Most folks are just looking for a hand.
In this game, there's that statue out down at the end of the road there, and at the base of it, you find a left shoe and a right shoe. And I don't... they should be in here. And they are not. My left shoe, my right shoe. Because I often wear them with certain mods that don't have shoes. Apparel. It's not there, huh? There will not be any shoes here. Yeah. I'm bummed now. I'm wondering if I lost him. What is that laser thing going on? Oh, that. That is a form of defense. It's like a biometric scanner, so it knows who belongs here and who doesn't. You the one that been coming up here smoking cigars? I found a box of cigars over here on the ground. Maybe that was another playthrough. Let's see, what's it called? Advanced laser scanner. Yeah, so those are lasers. And it's scanning for bad guys. It looks pretty cool at night. It only gives you like, what, 2 points of defense? And sometimes it can be a little annoying, like, this is my house, sorta. It's where my center of operation. And so when those lights come flying through like that, it's kind of goofy. It's kind of goofy. But I haven't minded it so much, because I realize it's like, it's a defense system, and it's a good thing. It reminds me of when I was a kid, and I used to live in a small city, going to bed young, when I was young, going to bed, advanced turret set. It is a mod, and it's something like that. Let's take a look and see if it has a name. There are several different mods that do advanced turret type stuff. It's not. It's not going to be separate. It's not going to be separated. Let's see these. Okay, this is probably advanced assaultron. So I think you hit it right on the head. Advanced turret set. Advanced, 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 advanced. In every kind of gun you can think of, there's a turret for it. Mini nukes. The Lazarus gun or whatever, Lazaro, I forget that guy's name. Liberty Prime laser. There it is, Lorenzo. It's a pretty funny little gun right there. I don't even see it in there. Cool, I'm gonna add that to my mod list. I like them because they're not super crazy. They're 20. You know, 20, 20, 20, 20. One of them might be 30. Maybe not. I think 20 is the biggest you see. Compared to, say, oh, well, there was a 25. There's a 25 right there. Spotlight is worth 2. And the other ones are worth 8. Where's that laser spotlight thing that I got? Advanced Tesla turret. Minigun turret. Mesmatron. Just about any weapon you can think of, they're in here. The assaultron beam that comes out of their head, that's in there somewhere. The harpoon from Fahaba. All right, the broadsider. There's the assaultron one. Okay, there's a spotlight, but that's not the one I'm looking for. How come I can't find... How come I can't find that thing? I was specifically looking for it. Is it traps? It's not going to be under traps. It's not a trap. It's not a guard post. It should be under here. Now I'm being... I'm just... I won't give up. I gotta find it. Where the hell is it? There it is. There it is. So it gives you 4. So what I thought to do is... put them up here, maybe back to back. And if I can keep them from shining in my house, that'd be nice. There we go. They look cool at night. So I'm looking for that my left shoe, my right shoe. Yeah, I went past. It's terrible how that is.
If you ain't been up to see Grey Garden, you should go. The whole place is run by robots.
Every single stream I make, I record. And I watch every single minute. And I watch myself making mistakes all over the place. Walking by stuff I'm looking for. Often. Every time. And that's the point, is looking right back. You look right through something. You're in a hurry, you walk right past it. I got the epitome of stupid blindness on my part in a second. I'm looking for apparel, my right shoe, my left shoe. Not seeing it. Man, I'm kind of bummed. Maybe I never picked it up this playthrough. Let's go look and see. So, I'm looking for Preston Garvey. I gotta talk to him. It's a mission. I gotta go back and talk to him. Well, no, it must not have been a mission, because it would have gave me a mission marker on him. Either way, I'm looking for Preston Garvey. I can't find him. Oh, that's it. I wanted to give him a suit and a tie and a bowler hat. I was trying to be fashionable. That's what my... Come to find out, that's been my habit over the years, is sexy, fashionable, clean. That's my thing. That's what I do. So this is where you find them shoes. They just sit right here out in the open. And they are not there. And then there's stuff that's always in this, and I've already looted it. So now I'm a little disturbed. Where's my left shoe, my right shoe? I know I'm not wearing them. I'm wearing sneakers. Sneakers. So I'm looking for Garvey. Now I know these guys hide in the buildings. You're going to find them sitting in a chair somewhere. So I'm walking by one of these buildings, going, where the hell are you, Garvey? I'm in the back of this building, or that building. I'm like, where are you, Garvey? I'm looking for him. He's up on the roof, standing with 2 or 3 other people. I walked right by him, never saw him. Garvey, where the hell are you? You're sitting in a chair somewhere. I know it. You're hiding. I need to talk to you. Where are you? He's in plain sight, standing on a roof. I don't even see him. Now I'm watching my tape. I see him plain as day. I'm like, you blind moron. You're walking right by him. Just look up. He's on the roof. But no. Looked right through him. Yeah, that's why I never use Sanctuary. Oh, you got a good point there. You got me thinking of all the other places they could jump up on the roof. And they don't. They're very often up on the roofs here. There's something about this game that confuses the Z-axis.
I need to get back to Diamond City one of these days.
You know, the AI is pathing these people around. Go here, go there. Here's a really good example. It looks normal right now. This is a trader caravan post. It attracts the Brahmin to stand underneath the canvas. So they know x-axis, y-axis, they can move left, right, forwards, back, and they can get themselves here. And right now I'm in the perfect y-coordinate. I'm standing on the ground. But at the z-coordinate, I should say, the z-coordinate is where they make their mistake. They'll be standing on top. They got the xy correct, but the z is off. I get it all the time, even with the workers. Let's say, I'll take this girl. I've had it happen countless times.
Raiders thought we were easy pickings, but we showed them different.
So this girl right here, she's assigned to this booth. Let's say this is a 2-story building and the booth is 2 stories up. I'll go up there, she's not there.
Lost track of how many blisters.
She's standing right here. She thinks she's up there. She's lined up right where she's supposed to be, but her Z coordinate is wrong. They end up on the roof because that's how the cells load the NPCs and stuff. That's why when you're out traveling, you see falling cars, the game drops things. They start at the top and they come down. Things that aren't part of the pre-combines in from above when the cell load. You know, I had somebody else explain that too. He says when you make an end table and you place an ashtray on it, when it loads, I forget how we said it. I might get it backwards. The larger table loads last and the ashtray loads first, and so the ashtray falls through the table because the table's not loaded yet, or vice versa. That's how things often won't stay on top of tables and shelves. He was explaining it about the way the order they loaded in.
Can't remember the last time I had clean fingernails.
Well, I built a building up on stilts, but it had stairs, and there's a store in it that someone's supposed to be working in. Well, they're standing underneath the store, and they need to get up a flight. Well, instead of going around and finding the stairs, all of a sudden they just float up in the air, clip through the floor, and now they're standing where they're supposed to be. I've seen that countless times.
I'd kill for a drink. Come to think of it, I have.
You have killed for a drink. That's one of the chores I want to do today.
Walk 100 miles if I knew there was a
Yeah, there's something else Fallout about the way I see things low, like the rubber tires in the rivers. Every time I go back to Taffington Boathouse, all of a sudden all these rubber tires spawn into existence under the water on the ground and start to float up to the surface, popping up like bobbers, and then they float away. But yeah, the cars on the bridges are funny. You see them falling down, bouncing around all the time. Infinite moving tires. I hate that location.
That was the deal, right?
Well, early game, if you're hard up for material, you can always go grab the tires and bring them into your border and scrap them. I do that very early game, like level 1, 2, 3. Walk outside the borders, pick up whatever I can pick up, bring it into the boundary and scrap it. Okay, Sturgis, I guess we're going to have a conversation. We're going to do another save. Just in case I don't like the outcome. Or is he in the garden? Oh, he's in this house. Yeah, this house seems to attract them. I put a lot of tables or a lot of chairs. They're attracted to chairs. They want to sit down. I made the mistake of putting like 20 sleeping bags in one building. You don't want to be in that building when everybody wakes up. You can't get out the door. You got to teleport. You got to fast travel. Because it takes them, I don't know, 15 minutes.
Find a good spot to build your signal interceptor?
Did you figure out the rest of Virgil's schematics?
I think so. Best I can tell until we actually try to put it together. Here's a list of 3 things that may be harder to find. I think I'll be able to pull together everything else we're gonna need. I'll meet you over at the building site and see if we can actually make this thing work.
Let's see, what's the hardest thing this thing needs? Does it need one of those resident photon explain teleporter? No, don't explain it. Yeah, I'll make him explain it.
Can you explain how this thing is actually gonna work?
Let me break it down for you.
Yeah.
There's 4 main parts to this thing. 1, a control console to input the code and process the signal. 2, what he calls a relay dish. That's what intercepts the teleporter signal. 3, a molecular beam emitter. Gets pretty technical here, but looks like this is what translates your matter into energy for transmission. 4, the stabilized reflector platform that you already built. That's what concentrates and reflects the molecular beam.
One thing to keep in mind while you're building this, it all needs to be wired together so all the pieces can talk to each other.
I'll see you over at the building site. Good luck.
Piece of cake. Where's the yellow? How do we get out of here? There we go.
Out here, you gotta take things one day at a time.
I really prefer small settlements that are in decently good shape. I don't need 2 rusty shacks. My wasteland insurance doesn't cover lockjaw. Well, Pickle, I do mega
Got
builds.
everything in place. We'll have to hook it all up to the
I
same
do
power
mega
grid.
builds. Hey, what, do you follow me around or something here? Yeah, the last time I worked with him, as soon as I put the console down, he stood in front of it and he never moved. You couldn't have any conversations with him about anything else. So,
hey,
once you start this thing, it's probably a good idea to just do it, get it done with. Because if you need to talk to him, trade things, change his clothes, whatever, you know, he's locked out of that. He's busy. So I do the mega builds. But this time through, what I'm doing is, this is not a fair example of the kind of build I've been building, because this is my main build. This is where I have built the most. I've probably built easily 5 times more here. The shops, I don't have shops anywhere else. Houses with magazine racks and stuff like that, I don't have that anywhere else. Desks with stuff in it, nowhere else. Weapon hoards, nowhere else. Basically, it's food, water, security, beds under roofs. Very, very minimum. Mostly sleeping bags, not even walls. Just whatever it takes to do food, shelter, water. Nothing fancy. I haven't built an entire building. I built a foundation with 1 wall and a roof with posts to hold up the roof. Be right back. GF making chicken. Well, I'm going to use this as a cue to take like a 3-minute break. I would say 2 minutes, but I got 2 things I need to do. Little bio break, and I've got a soda that's freezing in the freezer. I need to take that out of the freezer. But for all you that are new here, I'll show you my new break screen. I had to make a new break screen because I wiped my computer. Totally wiped all the reformatted everything. I had files written in Chinese. It was time to wipe the thing, start all over again. So all my scenes, all my sources, all my OBS was gone. So I made this new. 3 minutes. Promise, 3 minutes. I lied. I think that was quicker than 3 minutes. What do we... Oh, 2 hours. Darn. Darn. I try to break this tape every hour. Sometimes I go 3 hours.